No sirens scream. The world doesn't stop spinning. But at the bottom of the planet, something ancient begins to fail. In Antarctica, far from cities, politics, and daily human noise, the ice starts to melt. Not slowly, not seasonally, completely. Ice sheets thicker than skyscrapers, older than human memory, begin collapsing into water. Ice that formed when humans didn't exist yet. Ice that survived meteor impacts, ice ages, and mass extinctions, finally gives in. At first, no one notices. Why would they? Antarctica isn't on anyone's morning news. Stock markets open as usual. People drink coffee, scroll their phones, complain about traffic. The oceans still look calm. The waves still hit the shore. But satellites see it. Data streams begin to spike. Scientists stare at their screens, silent. The numbers don't make sense. Sea level projections jump decades, then centuries ahead. What was supposed to happen over thousands of years is happening in days. Within a week, the oceans begin to rise. Not a few centimeters, not even a few meters. Tens of meters. Coastal cities are the first to fall. New York floods block by block. London's underground fills with seawater. Shanghai disappears behind advancing tides. Venice doesn't drown, it simply vanishes. Ports collapse, airports shut down forever. Entire coastlines redraw themselves in real time. And Antarctica still isn't finished. Locked inside that ice was the potential to raise global sea levels by over 60 meters. 60 meters means this: the world map becomes a lie. Countries lose their shape. Borders lose meaning. Millions of square kilometers of land gone, permanently. Hundreds of millions of people are displaced, then billions. This isn't migration. This is evacuation without destinations. Humanity moves inland like a panicked organism, pushing against itself. Nations close borders. Armies are deployed, not for war, but to hold back waves of desperate people searching for dry ground. Conflicts erupt, not over oil, not over ideology, over elevation. But the water isn't the worst part. As Antarctica melts, trillions of tons of fresh water pour into the oceans, disrupting one of Earth's most delicate systems, ocean's circulation. The massive currents that regulate global climate begin to weaken. The Atlantic meridional overturning circulation slows, then stutters, then breaks. Europe freezes. Winters grow longer, darker, harsher. Summers never really come. Crops fail. Agriculture collapses across entire regions that once fed hundreds of millions. Food prices skyrocket. Hunger spreads faster than panic. At the same time, the opposite happens elsewhere. Equatorial regions become unbearable. Temperatures soar beyond what the human body can survive. Heat and humidity combine into lethal conditions where sweating no longer cools you down. Healthy adults collapse within hours outdoors. Cities become traps. Entire regions are abandoned not because of water, but because of heat. The planet fractures into zones of cold, zones of fire, and shrinking zones of survival. Oceans, once the planet's greatest stabilizer, turn hostile. Coral reefs, sensitive to temperature and salinity, die en masse. Fisheries collapse. The marine food chain breaks from the bottom up. Billions of people who relied on the sea for protein lose their primary food source almost overnight. Species disappear faster than scientists can name them. And suddenly, humanity understands something it ignored for too long. Antarctica was never just ice. It was a regulator, a shield, a planetary brake. By reflecting sunlight, stabilizing sea levels, and controlling ocean circulation, the Antarctic ice sheet quietly kept Earth livable. When that brake fails, the system doesn't slow down, it spirals. Even if humanity panics and unites after this point, even if every factory shuts down, every emission stops, every resource is redirected, it doesn't matter anymore. The ice doesn't come back. Rebuilding Antarctica would take thousands of years. Civilizations don't get thousands of years, they get decades, maybe less. The world doesn't end in an explosion, it ends in retreat, in adaptation, in loss. Technology survives. Some cities survive, some people survive. But the world as we know it, the one with stable seasons, predictable coastlines, and familiar geography, is gone. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. This isn't a fantasy scenario. Antarctica isn't melting all at once today, but it is weakening. Ice shelves are cracking, glaciers are accelerating toward the sea, temperatures are rising faster than natural cycles can explain. And for the first time in Earth's history, the main driver isn't volcanoes or asteroids. It's us. Every fraction of a degree matters. Every delay matters. Antarctica doesn't collapse suddenly without warning. It collapses because warnings are ignored long enough.